Right. So it's been a while since we've recorded one of these videos, but to catch you guys up, had ended up making the trip to Miami, and there's actually a lot of stuff missing. I haven't been reco I haven't run I have not been recording and posting consistently since about January. So that is something that we're gonna fix. I do want to be able to post consistently, but one of the biggest things that I realized about going to Miami is you need to be extremely focused, but not just focused, you need to be intentional. Over the last couple months, we had scale the window cleaning business from zero to um I don't know. Well, I'll just say it. We've gone over 10K a month. And while this is great and all for, on the outside, like I'm sure anybody who's like been following along knows where I started and compared to what I was making, sure it's better money, but the problem is it hasn't progressed me at all towards my goal. The whole purpose of starting this channel is documenting the process of building a Web3 company, showing how we can utilize blockchain technology to just make things more efficient, as well as utilizing the networking aspect to be able to facilitate things like roll-ups, to be able to connect contractors to developers, private money lenders to developers, pretty much allowing ourselves to step into an industry, build a network that can provide value, and ultimately be the guy who's obviously I'm the guy with the idea, the visionary, but also setting up the technical aspects from like the smart contracts that would automate the process of memberships and applications for funding, just all these different things, right? Without going super in depth in detail. So we knew what we started this channel for, and we knew what we wanted to go into as far as the industry, the career, but we've gotten caught off path. And I was talking with Fresh at the networking event. That was the main thing I'd gone to Miami for. I also did deliver the photo, but as I'm saying this, there's a few problems, right? Talking to Fresh, he had mentioned the fact that you need to have a vision board. It's important because otherwise you're going to get blown and drifted around by whatever seems like the best move rather than already having a preconceived idea and directing focus and attention specifically towards what you already know you have to do. Because today there's so much information, it's impossible to act on all of it. This is something that, it's become abundantly clear. Um, there is a million ways to get ahead in life, to make money, to find a girlfriend. There's all these different strategies, but you need to be hyper specific as far as what you want to achieve and block out all of the other stuff that is, driving attention away from what you want to do. Right now, like again, things have been favorable this year, but it's also felt very easy to get distracted. This window cleaning business, am I in a better financial position? Sure. I've got more money in the bank than when I started. But again, I'm nowhere near where I need to be able to execute on these goals. And obviously it's a process, it's a grind, but um but we need to be moving intentionally because building this window cleaning business, it's not gonna get me to where I want to go. Sitting down with Gary, we had actually met while I was in Miami, and I came to meet up with him to show him, pretty much like I wanted to explain the concept, but also show him some of the stuff that I built. And I was so bad at explaining the concept that like I didn't even get to really get to the point of showing the stuff. I didn't get to show any of the front end. I didn't get to explain how the smart contract works. I didn't get to show how it works. Um, I couldn't even really get my idea off because like it was unfocused. I didn't have a clear vision as far as what I wanted to accomplish on meeting. I mean, obviously, I knew I wanted to get connected with other people that he knew, but like it wasn't specific. And the reason for it is because I hadn't been focused on that specific aspect. My focus has been everywhere but the Web3 stuff. And then now going to Miami, it's like I'm trying to plan things out fast pace, rather than being fully prepared. So all it's my fault. Even meeting up with Fresh, I drew a super cool drawing of his Ferrari. I'll throw up well, maybe I'll do this on another video, but just for editing purposes, I just want to post this tonight. But I drawn a drawing of Fresh's Ferrari, came out really, really well. And like even with the Ferrari, it's like I could have alluded to the fact that I wanted to help work with him to help expand his network, or I could have even just asked, "Hey, like, do you mind taking a selfie with the Ferrari photo?" And you leveraging that when I go to car meets, but I didn't do any of that. I didn't have. It's not that I didn't have the idea because I knew that was what I wanted to do, but I didn't have a clear plan to execute on once I was there. It was just like, all right, like I'm here, give him the drawing, chop it up. But like it's not how you do it. Like you can't wing it. I've been realizing this. I've been realized this, but like I'm just it's become oblivious or not oblivious, but it's become blatantly obvious that my strategy for talking with high network individuals, it hasn't been working. Has not created the opportunities that I'd been looking to achieve. And regardless of how good the idea is, regardless of what I've been working on here, um, I need to be able to communicate it effectively. And that comes down to communicating it multiple times, many times. So, for one, we need to be back in the habit of discussing this stuff, and whether that means we're doing spaces. We need to focus on the activities that are going to move the needle. But again, the activities that are going to move the needle for the Web3 company need to be related to Web3. We can't spend 80% of our day, 80% of our energy on a completely different business and expect to get where we want to go. So, I'm going to be back on YouTube talking more in depth about Web3 and trying to provide more value, more than just documenting the process. I'm going to do my best to for one, showcase things that we're building, things that people can interact with to get a feel for. But secondly, also going through the process of explaining tools that could be helpful for other people who are in the Web3 space, just to provide value where I can to other people who may be creatives, other people who have ideas that they want to transform and build on the blockchain. Because again, if I want to solidify myself as an expert in this space, I need to allocate sufficient time to it. And so, that's going to be a big thing. Now, one of the other things that I had a really key takeaway with Miami is I need to be present on LinkedIn. This is where professionals hang out. This is where the type of crowd that I would want to target, business owners, are going to be. And they're going to be more focused on the networking and value creation aspect more so than just showing off lifestyle or tweeting ideas and stuff like that. It's going to be more beneficial for identifying clients that I could provide value to their business. And that's going to be crucial for what I'm wanting to do because after being in Miami, I've gone there, got there Friday night, stayed until about, Tuesday evening. That city is next level when it comes to the ability to network. You're able to meet people so quickly and that's the type of opportunity that I need. I really wish I'd taken more advantage of it when I was there in 2022, but I need to be able to target people that I can network with and surround myself in areas where they're in high concentration for people that I could work with to provide value. We already know we want to look at RWAs as the biggest thing. Just given the tokenization aspect, that's going to be a huge turnaround for crypto in general as a whole. As far as moving value on chain, there's plenty of real estate. There's plenty of businesses that are not tokenized. So it doesn't matter if there's already somebody in the space doing it. That just means I'm on the right path. So I met somebody who's actually needing to get his condo filled, and he has an AI agency that um, effectively, I mean, he's pretty much got it running, doing a lot of the work himself. He does have a team now, but he's pretty much done with AI what I want to do with the blockchain. He positioned himself in like 2021, built his credibility up, built his professionalism up on LinkedIn. And by the time people started talking about AI in depth in 2023 after ChatGPT was released, he already had 2 years of experience and credibility to back what he was saying, and people were ready to work with him. So I need to be able to do similar where if I go to Miami like that might be a very viable route just given I would want to have some level of credibility for myself as a developer, just given even if somebody has a really credible name in the block or the construction space, it's like they're not handling the smart contract. And I would like to be able to show more than just, hey, here's my name, here's my face. This is what I've actually done for other people. So my thought is the one of the first videos I'd done really well was the one that we had talked about the time sharing smart contracts for a private jet. Now, while we were talking about a private jet, this can be applied to yachts, this can be applied to exotic cars, and ultimately we can actually apply both the fund distributing smart contract and the time sharing contract to business owners in both of these spaces. If they want to raise money for purchasing another vehicle, they can do that with the fund distribution smart contract. And if they want to just be able to offer something to their clients where they can have a discount for paying a larger sum up front, they can do that as well. And especially when it comes to people who travel to Miami, to Dubai, to major cities very regularly, if we can have these contracts ready and set up, it allows them to be able to rent a vehicle without having to do much at the checkout pretty regularly. Um, so, what we're looking to do effectively is we need to, for one, identify people who could utilize the technology that we've been working on so far, and then we need to create an outreach strategy to start providing value. Another thing too is like given I drawn the car for Fresh, and he um seemed like he liked it, said W gift in the group chat, sent in photos, which is cool. So that's also something that I could do, potentially charging 2 to 5K for each piece and creating those for other people who are car enthusiasts. And if we develop a good client base, then we should be able to do pretty well. Um, I do need to work on I need to work on applying what I've learned from the Windows business to these other businesses. Because like with drawing, it's pretty similar in the sense where we do very detailed work. And I'm sure if we leverage other people's networks, providing shout outs on social media, mentioning me at events to friends, then that makes my job easier than having to go out and hunt people. So wish I had brought that up a little bit more to Fresh at the moment of peak satisfaction, but he's gonna have a call tomorrow at 6 post event, and it might be able to be something that we bring up, um, then just as far as like potentially having some more traction for other car enthusiasts. So basically, I know this has been a little all over the place. It's been a while since we recorded a video, but for one, being intentional with what we're doing to get us closer to the goal. And then secondly, um, leveraging LinkedIn. That's where I was going with talking about the guy who built out his AI agency. I asked him a lot of questions about how he had started landing clients and asserting himself as the expert. And he said his focus was on LinkedIn, and we have absolutely nothing on LinkedIn. So that is what we need to work on. We need to work on building our credibility, posting regularly, and doing heavy outreach to other business owners who would benefit from the service that we can offer, software as a service. So we're going to get on that. Um, that's kind of where we're at right now for the day. But if we're able to get on that and actually get things set up, I need to just have something that people can interact with the timeshare um, contract, because I need to just have something interactable for any of the contracts we build. But once we have it set up, I'm going to be posting stuff about that on LinkedIn. But in the meantime, I can still post things that would be effective for communicating the value on LinkedIn. And I'm going to get more ideas for how to do so using what I've already seen from our AI guys. So really great trip. Did everything happen that we had wanted to happen? Not exactly, but we had made great connections out there, and we were at least able to learn from some of the experience that didn't necessarily go our way. How we need to approach things in the future to make sure that things are a little bit better. Because for one, like when I came into talking with Gary, um, I'd been thinking of all these different ways that I can provide value using Web3 technology to multiple people rather than being focused and specific on the one thing that we'd already mentioned. So again, being focused, being intentional, super, super important, especially when you're going to work with people with, they reputations they've built over decades. You want to make sure that they feel they can trust you to be able to bolster their reputation rather than hurt it. That's the biggest thing when it comes to people who are high net worth or just very well known for what they do. So it's kind of where we're at. Again, like it's been a while since we posted, so I'm just gonna get this video up just so we can just get back in the habit of posting regularly. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.